Let's start a prop trading challenge. So prop trading is vastly popular, has become vastly popular. I mentioned it last week. Whenever you go to a trading conference, there is a good chance that the majority of all the booths and exhibitions there will be about prop trading and prop trading solutions, prop trading account, all the stuff about prop trading. It's vastly popular. And there's a reason for this. Because in prop trading, unlike retail trading, like regular trading in quotes, the risk is absolutely limited to what you pay for a prop trading charge. Yet you have a nice upside potential once you pass the challenge. Some prop trading challenges are prop trading firms that you keep up to 80% or even more of the gains made in the earnings phase. But of course, there's a catch. Obviously, it is inherently difficult to pass these prop trading challenges. Of course, there has to be a trade-off. This is how the prop trading firms will make their money. The vast majority of attempted challenges will not be passed. It is absolutely complicated. But there are certain steps that you can do to maximize of passing such a prop trading challenge. On this technical topic, we're going to walk you through the steps that we are taking to maximize our chances to pass such a prop trading challenge. So what are these steps? Here they go. All right. So 5 steps to follow. And step number 1 is really a bit of homework that you need to do on your own. It's nothing to do with the actual trading, but it's about finding a reliable prop trading firm. Now, this space is vastly convoluted now. It is very hard to find the trustworthy prop trading firms from the ones that are perhaps a bit shady. I'm not the world's most experts on prop trading firms, but I've seen quite a few of them. And perhaps most importantly, I was able to visit and talk to a prop trading firm called the Trading Pit. I know the people involved, I know the owners involved, and I believe this firm is absolutely trustworthy. And this is what I can pass on to you. There are definitely other firms out there as well, but the Trading Pit is one of them. Now, they're not the cheapest out there, but when it comes to, passing the challenge, the rules that are imposed on you, and what you can expect once you're in the earnings phase in terms of payouts, that payouts are being sent reliably, I believe the Trading Pit is one of the better ones out there. Now, there is currently a special going on for new clients only, where you can save 35% on all prop trading challenges. If you want to take advantage of this, simply go to tradingindicators.com/prop and enter the coupon code START35 when you are on the checkout. So tradingindicators.com/prop for that. So we're going to move ahead and just pick the Trading Pit for starting our challenge. Once you pick the prop trading firm, you still have to pick the challenge. So what challenge should we pick? Let's quickly go to the actual Trading Pit website. So I'm going to go here. Where do we have it? There we go. And once you go to the homepage of the Trading Pit, you can see all kinds of challenges here. Now, as you know, guys, we typically trade futures when it comes to day trading. So we're not so much in the CFD space, perhaps using MT4 and MT5 to trade FX and CFDs. We like to trade actual futures contracts. So to me, I believe it's always important to stay truthful to your trading approach. We are going to stay in the futures space. I'm going to select futures here. All right, so futures are selected, and once you scroll down here, there are different types of challenges that you can pick. Now, I used to pick always this challenge here, the $150,000 challenge. It's the most expensive one for one simple reason. The daily drawdown was the highest for this challenge. And this was important to me for my trading approach because I like to scale into a position and which eventually would leave me with a fairly big position size, and which, if my daily drawdown was too small, would threaten to hit this daily drawdown if the trade goes against me very quickly. For this reason, I was always picking this one because this would give me the best odds. This is no longer required because the daily drawdown rule that you would need to stay within the trading day above a certain drawdown limit has been eliminated from all these challenges, which is fantastic. It's a huge difference maker. And now it doesn't really matter which challenge you pick. It could be the $99 one, which would give you an initial balance of $50,000, the 189 one with $100,000 initial balance or the 289 one with $150,000. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. The daily drawdown stays the same. So it doesn't really matter which one to pick. I just picked the middle one because right now with this daily drawdown requirement be eliminated, it doesn't really matter which challenge you pick. Perfect. So so I went ahead and picked this challenge and I paid the $189 here. And once you've paid for it, you can see this challenge listed in your dashboard. This is the Trading Pit dashboard here. You can see my current balance is exactly $100,000. And I still have 30 days or 29 days and 21 hours to hit my profit target. Now, about this time limit here. This, in my view, is perhaps one of the hardest thing to fulfill because it's not easy to make 6%. This is what you would need to make. You have to hit $6,000 of profit within 1 month. That's optimistic. Yeah. So if this was consistently possible, we'd all be millionaires. It's not easy to do. But to me, I don't even look at this too much because there is an option when it comes to the Trading Pit to extend the challenge by another month. You have to pay for it, but the option is there. So to me, this is a good safety net because if I'm making consistent profit, but I'm not quite there at my profit target at the end of the challenge, I simply extend it. Okay. All right. Now, what are the actual rules? So daily drawdown is eliminated. Perfect. That's amazing. We still have a max dynamic trailing drawdown of $3,000. What does that mean? So in order to make the $6,000 profit, our dynamic trading drawdown cannot be more than $3,000. So right now, at the start, we cannot go below $97,000 because that we would go below the $3,000. But let's say we made $1,000 already in our challenge. Our balance is now $101,000. This would mean that we cannot go below $98,000 because the drawdown is always measured from the high point of equity in your account. It trades in that way. It's challenging, but at least it's $3,000. It's quite generous. All right. So max drawdown $3,000. Overnight trading, and I will need to come back to you on this, used to be not allowed. However, there are some changes being made to the rules right now. For example, the daily drawdown is being removed. Maybe this criteria has been removed too. I will confirm this in Discord a bit later today. All right. There are also some things in there like consistency rules, so you cannot make all your profit in just one lucky trade. It needs to be like built over time with trades of similar profits and so forth. You have to spend at least 3 days trading with similar position sizes to hit your target, and the profit target is $6,000. I personally, I'm not obsessed with this profit target because I always think, hey, if I don't make it in 30 days, I can extend the challenge. Because the key is to get into the earnings phase. Even if you have to spend a bit more money, in my view, that's fine. Okay, so these are the rules, all right. And now we actually will be talking about trading. And for trading, of course, we need to set up our trading infrastructure. So what could be important for this? Well, for example, for this particular challenge, not every futures symbol is tradable. I don't know why that is. I asked one, say, why don't you, for example, allow to trade palladium, a symbol, a metal I like to trade sometimes. They say, oh, it's too risky, it moves too much. They just simply don't allow it. So what I've done, and if you're interested to follow me along, I have created a watch list of all tradable symbols for this particular challenge. And I added this watch list to TradingView. So if we go to here, you can see on the right-hand side here, I now have a watch list called TTP, the Trading Pit Challenge watch list, with all the symbols, future symbols that you can trade for this challenge. It's still a big list. There are like maybe 30 symbols in there. It should be enough to trade. So even if certain symbols that you, let's say platinum, is not available, there's still a big selection of symbols that you can trade. All right, so this is my watch list, just to keep my focus to pass this challenge. All right, so I am not a full-time trader in that sense. I'm running a business, I do a lot of other things. I prepare these educational presentations. I try to come up, or we are trying to come up with new tools and so forth. We don't have the time to trade 24/7. But I like to trade actively. And for this, alerts are absolutely essential. What do alerts allow me to do? Well, they allow me to go about my daily, or process, my daily work. But whenever an interesting setup comes up, I receive an alert. It may come to my cell phone or perhaps on my browser or my desktop. I see the alert coming in. I then quickly open up the chart. And if I like what I see, I quickly place the trade. This is my current trading style because it allows me to do my regular work, yet trade actively. Let me quickly show you how this can be done. So I'm going to go back to trading view here. This is, of course, the VIX. We don't want to trade the VIX, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go here to the MNQ symbol. Okay, so in order to set up an alert, let's say for Liquidity IQ, one of our main indicators, which we use to for all our trading, for trading our real account, our live account, but also for prop trading. So let's say you want to set up an alert for this indicator. Condition number one is that this indicator is on your chart and configured the way you want it to be. So in this case, on this 5-minute time frame, I configured Liquidity IQ to look out for the 50-minute reference time frame. I believe that's all I've done here in terms of configuration. All right, so the indicator is on the chart, and then I can go to alert here. All right, and now depending on your TradingView subscription, you might be able to create something called watch list alerts. So I'm going to talk about this in a second, but let's just assume for a second, hey, we want to create an alert for this symbol MNQ. Maybe a liquidity capture alert. So whenever a liquidity capture event comes in, let's say at support, I want to be alerted. So what are these liquidity capture events in the first place? Let's have a quick look. So these are these events here. You can see it here, price came down to a key level, and we have this shaded area around the candle. Here, liquidity capture, and so forth. And oftentimes these are great moments to potentially look for a long entry, because in our view, these events increase the odds that we're actually going to see a bounce of the level rather than a break of the level. There are no guarantees, but if you combine this, for example, with trend direction, which in this case was bullish, you can find some really interesting setups that way. So how can we get an alert for this? So I go to alert here, I select Liquidity IQ, and then I select support liquidity capture. And now it gets a bit tricky because the defaults for the actual alert is once only. This is a bit tricky. So here under trigger, you see once only. And I asked Niklas to look into whether we can change this default. It's currently not possible in TradingView. But you need to pay attention to this because once only means that as soon as such an event is detected, this could be intra-candle, you will get the alert. But as we know, intra-candle, what can happen? Let me just quickly go here let me make this a little bit bigger here. What can happen is that intra-candle, we may see this liquidity capture event coming in, but it may go away because perhaps price will break below the support level, then it would be invalidated, or perhaps we are too far away. So this is not stabilized until the close of the candle. When it happens intra-candle, it may still go away. And I believe, Derek, this is exactly what happened to you. Okay? Now, how can we prevent this? Well, what you can do is in your alert settings, you will pick, instead of once only, you will pick once per bar close. Because that way, it is assured that, hey, only if this event is still there, when the bar closes, I should get the alert. This would be the settings you would need to use for this. I personally prefer once per bar. Actually, once only is actually very dangerous for various reasons. Once per bar is what I personally use because I want to be alerted as soon as possible. Even if the alert goes away, maybe I want to jump in anyways. That's my preferred setting, once per bar. But then don't be surprised if you don't see it on the chart all the time. Once only actually is the most dangerous of all because this will lead to the fact that once, let's say you do this one, you create once this alert comes up, it will never come up again in the future. It's only once in the lifetime of this alert. Of course, that's not what you want. You want this to be continuous. So what you need to do, and this, we probably should put this into our masterclass as well, you want to stick either once per bar or once per bar close. Once only, to me, has no utility because then you only get the alert once, but then never again in the future. This is probably not what you want. Okay, so I personally use this one here, once per bar. All right, now let's talk quickly about watch list alerts. So if I click create right now for this one, and I go to my alerts here and look at my alert condition, you can see, okay, now I have this alert defined for MNQ. Just delete this here. For MNQ on the 5-minute time frame. Okay, and I could do this for every symbol in my watch list. All right, that's the way to do it, but very tedious and probably not something I want to spend my time on. So if you have a high enough TradingView subscription, what you can do is you can go once again to alerts, and instead of create alert on just MNQ, you can select the entire watch list, TTP challenge. You still pick liquidity IQ here, support liquidity capture. Don't use once only, make sure it's once per bar, and then you click create. And once done, I'm going to go back to my alert settings here. You can see that now I have this support liquidity capture alert for the entire watch list defined. I have some other alerts here too, but this is now for the entire watch list. This is how I want to set up my alerts, because that's very convenient, and I can do this for other events as well. Then I will be notified whenever such an event comes in. And of course, what I do then, once I get a notification of some sort, I simply click on it, go to the symbol, and trade accordingly. This is how, I like to set up my alerts. Once we have set up our trading infrastructure, well, then there's only one thing to do. We have to start trading. I'm personally going to start trading today for this particular challenge, but a couple of ground rules here as well. You will still need to take it very seriously. Don't gamble. I know there's not much at stake here. You only paid, I don't know, maybe $200 for the challenge fee, but it's still $200. You still are spending time on passing this challenge. So you can as well do it seriously and properly. So don't overtrade. Don't gamble. Only trade subs which you actually would trade normally as well. Okay? Trade the symbols that you normally trade as well. Trade the symbols that you're already familiar with. Even though perhaps the trading challenge allows you to trade some exotic symbols. If you're not familiar with them, don't understand them, perhaps stay away from these ones first. Do not force trades. So even if you are not getting close fast enough to your profit target, it's very hard to make the $6,000 in 30 days. You have to trade a lot for this. I personally don't force trades. I will take my dear time to hit this target. Worst case, I pay another $200 or whatever the amount is to extend this challenge by another 30 days. Because I believe most or many traders will fail because they force trades, because they're getting close to it, but not close enough. They're making a really huge position size. It goes against you. You hit your drawdown limit and you're done. You breached the challenge. All right? And just one reminder, these challenges are inherently difficult to pass. This is the entire business model of these prop trading firms. They made it very hard to pass. Making 6% in 30 days, ask anyone out there, that's not easy. You will probably fail more often than you pass it. But at the minimum, let's try in our favor so that we give us a good chance to pass these prop trading challenges. So if you want to follow along, simply go to tradingindicators.com/prop, enter the coupon code START35 to even, shape off another 35% off the challenge fee, and perhaps follow me along.